Yo, you impressed the hell out of me, boy. Your knowledge, bro. Jeez. I didn't even know.
But yo, a lot of our reggae hip hop was influenced from break beats of musicians, that Jamaican musicians that were trying to mimic them in the 70s and the 60s.
So
and my father, my father was like, yo, I see what you did. You used technology to bring two eras together and two sets of musicians together through technology from different parts of the water, that one knew about the other, but the one didn't know one was mimicking the other. And you guys are a new generation for it, and you did it. You pulled it off. He's like, a lot of my friends like your album because you brought the old and new together in a way that they work seamlessly, and they're like, it's refreshing.
It is.
He's like, a lot of people in Jamaica might be bitter, thinking that you guys are getting a better paycheck for being so overly advertised off of this reggae wave that Shaba pioneered, that Supercat pioneered, Mad Cabra, Lady Patra pioneered, and we rode off that wave. They may look at y'all like y'all, what they call in Jamaica, a machine foe. Like somebody created y'all plant. Somebody thought, yo, give them hip hop beats. Have the singer sing more R&B-ish, or have them sing more what have you. Have them mimic all the Jamaican singers. And people thought that was a formula that we like thought of. Nah, that wasn't no formula, bro. Like, it was how I was reared musically. It was like how he was reared musically off his uncle's sound system, him mimicking the rapper, toaster, DJs that he grew up on, that his uncle had a collection that he got inspired by, that who he studied. It was what we were a product of, like what you mentioned earlier. As an artist, you're a new culmination of a complex combination of old ideas. And what's you're keeping your legacy artists alive through your interpretation of them. For your audience that taps into you.
And by saying their name, though, it's not like you just
correct.
Because you gave them credit.
Correct. We're not doing what they call the Drake snake take move.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to Aubrey, like as a singer to a singer, kudos off to his ability to move to transition from the rapper, from the actor channeler to now the enchanter channeler, to then now the rap staccato delivery channeler, to then having an audience rock with you in every phase of how you're using art for people to connect with you and hear you transmute all your anger for probably feeling overlooked as a light-skinned dude, as a soft dude, or a dude from a Jewish mom, or a dude from a place that isn't known for bringing the rappers, and you transmuting that through all you channeling. No disrespect to when he has all these receipts out there saying, yo, you really ain't that dude because you jacked it from this dude, you jacked it from this dude, and you didn't say who you jacked it from.
Yeah, that's because he changed. Because early on it was more organic. Because he was working with Cardinal Official.
Another reggae hip hop official.
Oh yeah, we knew. Yeah,
from Canada, like who we look up to, and who I think he looked up to our efforts as well. And we got connected via Black Chinese Sound. That was like a reggae hip hop sound as well. And yeah, this thing evolved. This thing evolved because in between when we were doing reggae hip hop, we was just hoping that it become a mainstream genre that play at radio, and radio would be like, yo, even though you guys have this accent that's different from the Ebonics of Black America, and even though we're trying to warm it to our island brothers and sisters that speak with a different accent, and even though the playlist is getting really crazy, where the majority of our accent music that our women are dancing different to, and it's a dope groove and a dope bag when the DJ goes into it, and we get a different groove on, besides dancing on the 1 and the 2. At the time when we came out, radio was feeling like, yo, we can't let America feel like our radio airways are being taken over by foreigners, where it's not pumping, and these foreigners are making all this bread off of being played in America, while all these American audiences going to see them more than their own American English-speaking counterpart doing hip-hop or R&B or what have you.
Which is crazy, because most of the people, like most of the greats, like especially from those 90s, are mixed.
Their lineage goes back to a Caribbean parent.
Yeah,
and their Caribbean parent was either musically inclined, had something to do with music, or played a lot of great music around them. Exactly. The one thing about Jamaican people, they love all kind of music. They like country music. They always play country music. They like Western movies. They love They love playing jazz. Ska was a part of their upbringing. Mento is what people are doing now. Everyone that's mixing the Jambian rhythm is like a modern day. The Jambian rhythm, that Party Animal with Charlie Black, that did well against the soca audience, the Latin audience,
because you could put it in each. Because you can't tell what it is. You can't tell.
There was a Caribbean music, bro. There was a Caribbean music called mental music. Mm-hmm. All the different islanders used to travel to different islands to work and make their bread and come back to their main island. And when they traveled, they was all listening to a fusion of Latin music, jazz music. Because what people would call jazz. Yeah, music that migrated from New Orleans. It was music that was coming from Africa, tip of Africa, going into Portugal and Spain, and then coming into New Orleans, and then all that swing was showing up in the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. And with everybody traveling on cruise ships, people were cross-pollinating a lot of different musics. And a lot of these different musics, one dominant sound is the dominant sound that's in everybody's music right now. You could blend from reggaeton to Dominican dembow to reggaeton that comes out of Colombia, to Afrobeat that comes out of Africa, to Afro dancehall that comes out of Colombia, like Barranquilla and Cartagena, to Brazilian. All of it is mental. It's mental music with different tempos. But all DJs now are loving it because they're like, yo, I get to blend all these genres seamlessly. Yeah. And then my mom like, yeah, you don't know, because back in the days, this actually was the sound of the Caribbean itself. Mm-hmm. They didn't have so many different category names they were calling it. And people were saying, nah, we created this now, we created that now, we call this now. Every new wave had a new category of how they was dancing to the tempo and had a dance to it. And what every dominant producers kept on saying, let's mimic that now, because that's working right now. They dancing like this now. So we're gonna have them dance to this and have the production sound like this now. There was one sound we'll call mental music. And if you went to Dominican Republic, with the Trinidad, with the Jamaica, with the Cuba, they always listen to mental music. And it sounded very like no different from when you hear soca music now with all the Spanish Latin guitars in it. Mm-hmm. Parang music, they call it. Parang music. That even Spanish people call parang music. I think parang music is what their music, folklore music that they play around Christmas time. Yeah. And people show up and they like serenade, like people in Mexico do it. They have the banda bands and the mariachi bands show up around Christmas time and just play. They had music called parang where it's guitar heavy. But that music would be in the mental music.
Yeah, those strings. And what people don't even realize too is like the Wailers. Like Rita was from Cuba.
Her mother, either Bob's mother was from Cuba, or Rita's mother was from Cuba. I think it's Rita. Rita's mother from Cuba. A lot of bass lines. Doom, doo doom, doo 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 doom, doom, doo doom. That's actually a salsa bass line.
That D Brown. Yeah.
That Cuba radio stations used to play across into Jamaica.
And it's right there.
Yeah, they're like not too far from each other where Jamaica people could pick up radio like Cuban stations and hear bass lines from Cuban music and be like, yo, man, I'm gonna lift that and twig it and put it on this guy, type of thing to me hear it. Latin music has a lot of dynamics. Latin music is just all African music. The Moors that left the tip of Africa that went into Spain brought the guitars.
Because they was making their own with the wood and the string.
They brought, people will always say, nah, Spaniards came with the nylon guitar, the flamenco guitar. Nah. Yeah, nah. I'm sorry. It was the Moors that came in. And it's not
It's like written in history. It's
historical. It's not even a ego superiority complex. It's just,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. If they're the oldest people on the planet, 99 monkey theory, not trying to say we're monkeys, but 99 monkey theory is, if there's a whole bunch of monkeys on one continent and one monkey on a whole separate continent, but they belong to the species of monkeyism, what have you, you really think that monkey not being a monkey or being a monkey is not going to run into the same osmosis, trial and error, and run into the same things and create different combinations and connections. And when he meets his rest of his 99 tribe, oh, should I do the same thing too? Oh, shit, I thought I was doing it to myself. Now you're a monkey, so you're going to naturally, if they're the only people on the planet, they ran into all the things to mimic in nature.
Exactly.
So naturally, when they're going to get out of their 1.63 billion people continent and start going out to different continents, they're going to bring their influence. And it just so happened when this came out of Africa into southern part of Europe and then going down into into the Caribbean, into New Orleans, it all started to create like a gumbo, like a gumbo soup, like of everything. Sancocho. There, Spanish people call it sancocho, and I just think
even a lot of the words in the foods, how you say the word, they're similar. Like people call they rice and beans different things. People call they bananas. They plantains.
When I eventually jump on social media and start rolling out all the history that I read, and all the receipts I have to show the combination. The people for years thought I was crazy. Like, why are you trying to do this? People thought my transition even from reggae hip hop into when the group broke up. And just real quick, the group put out 2 albums. One was called Kids from Foreign. The other one was called Yardcore. It came out through Delicious Vinyl. Delicious Vinyl went through several different distributors. And it seemed like, yes, these are the albums. Thank you for your Wow. Yeah, these are the 2 blueprint culmination albums to a lot of what people
doing now. And that was the 90s. You know, I had to listen to it again. The 90s, like those, I could hear them in the 2000s. I thought those are because we was born in the 90s. So in the 2000s, we heard that a lot. So, it would sound like it's the 2000s.
These end up climbing down into Colombia in the city of Bogota.
That's a huge market.
And I learned.
He mixed with Colombia.
Okay. Yeah. We're going to get into it then. I learned from this group named Chokeep Town. I'm jumping around now, but Chokeep Town, that's from Choco, a Pacific part of Colombia, Pacific side. Whatever peninsula is leading up into Central America. Funny. Whenever coffee beans are exported, whenever cocoa is exported.
Yeah.
And whatever people cross-pollinate, whenever they cross-pollinate food or they cross-pollinate substances, wherever people gather around food. When people gather around food, sometimes the music is playing to drown out some of the dead spots of conversation that taking place. The music travels with the food and the substances. And I learned from Chokeep Town, Goyo, the female, the female of the group. She's like, yo, not continuing me the history of how Colombia got into reggae hip hop was that a lot of West Coast people that was living in southern parts of Texas and people from Texas that was coming down Central America and coming down to Colombia and on their routes of cross-pollinating substances and food.
Yeah.
They was always bringing hip hop, introducing it to Colombia.
Yeah, because they got a huge market in hip hop. Like, they spray paint still.
I had no idea. I'm like, so hold on, you telling me import of Tupac, Biggie, even the boom bap era of rap came in through the cross-pollination of dealers of food and substances? And I never realized how close Colombia, the tip of Colombia, San Andres, is to all these, what they call Upper Antilles Islands, or Lower Antilles of the whole Caribbean island diaspora.
Because that's how Panama got it. Yeah.
I didn't know. I'm like, yo, I always wonder when Jamericans did hook back up and did reunion shows in Colombia, I'm like, I'm lost, bro. I know I came here to do my reggaeton stuff when I reemerged and got into reggaeton accidentally during the first wave in 2002 or 2003. I'm gonna jump back around, but I'm like, I knew people that was doing salsa music that was telling me Colombia's a really huge market for salsa music, and a lot of Puerto Ricans was borrowing dope salsa music from Colombia, inputting it into their Puerto Rican salsa, besides taking salsa from Cuba. But I'm like, I was never told it was a hip hop scene in Colombia. I went to school with Colombians, Colombian females. They never said, yo, hip hop is big in Colombia when I'm in the 90s. So Chokeep Town, the group from Choco in Colombia, Pacific side, they gave me the background, and I'm like, she's like, yo, between you and me, when you guys came up with reggae hip hop at the time and we heard it, we felt like you guys gave us a voice. I'm like, what you mean? She's like, well, Jamaica's right above us. We were always getting reggae music in some weird kind of way from Panama coming into Colombia.
Yeah, El General. And,
she said, but then we was getting hip hop coming from the West and Texas and Central America coming on down. And then we were hearing the two. Then when you guys came, we like, yo, there's a chance for us because we like both. And we want to even sing and rap on the reggae hip hop beats in opposed to just the straight rap beats. Because these guys are using the boom bap drum tracks under the reggae music. What an amazing, wish we thought of that. And then they started like expounding on the sound.
Yeah.
So our record label at the time, bro, they saw us being advertised with all our videos. We had about Boom Track Attack, Season Seco,
Send Your Love,
Warning Sign, Sweet Honey from the first
You got
album.
a video for Warning Sign?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
We got 4 videos from the first album. And then for the second album, we only got the Yardcore and Send My Love.
Yeah.
It was coming with Venus third, but Wherever We Go ended up resonating with Colombia. And a song called Superstar.
Yeah.
So I noticed all the tracks that we put reggae samples on the boom bap resonated with Bogota, resonated in Chile. And if people don't know, like, and even in Ecuador, like Ecuador, Chile, and Colombia has a huge Afro Latino community. And I guess with them seeing people coming down from the West Coast, Texas, wearing gear with Biggie on it, Tupac on it, West Coast rappers, New York rappers, them seeing people from Panama emulating Jamaican swag and stilo, and seeing the Supercats, hearing of the Supercats and Shabas and all that. Afro-Latino people are probably like, yo, they're one of us. I'm sure they're like looking at the rappers and the reggae artists as they're one of us. But they just don't speak Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So I never knew that they kind of like looked at us as being one of them, but they spoke a different dialect. I never knew that even existed, fam. Even when like Born Jamericans' first album came out, my half black American and Puerto Rican brother, Ulysses Reyes, he would always tell me, yo, they're making your songs over in Puerto Rico, bro. And I'm like, Yuli, you're not that big, man. BET is big, but I'm not sure BET is playing out of Puerto Rico, and I'm not sure why would they be enjoying us and we singing in a whole different language.
And know word for word.
And know the words. I'm like, at the time, I'm not thinking they're anomalies like myself, being a sheepdog. Yeah. I was thrown into a dog pen as a sheep, and I'm mimicking the dogs that I'm being raised around. Yeah. I'm not thinking that people that live in different countries are becoming virtual remote sheepdogs where they're being born in their country with their own Spanish culture or whatever culture they have, speaking their own mother dialect, but then they're being raised by urban Americana TV programming.
But also migration too, though.
And the
migration.
People
sleep on the migration.
Yeah, and like I just mentioned, the cross-pollination is, in my mind, the migration.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was migrating from and they migrated and stayed longer, and they was like, yo, we set up a block party, we set up hip hop, we playing hip hop down. They like it, they move it to it, and I dance at the same tempo as of their natural homegrown genre music. So I'm not thinking the bass line in Wherever We Go is resonating with the kids in Bogota, but I'm knowing that the bass line from Wherever We Go is the Revolution bass line from Dennis Brown, but it is a salsa bass line. I'm not thinking that the kids might have grew up in households where their mother played salsa, so they heard the bass line dancing the way it did, but they heard it in a reggae way to resonate with it. I'm not even thinking that.
And then Bob.
And I think people that really hit South America really big before we even got down there. Bob got down there. Inner Circle got down there.
Inner Circle too, yeah.
Black Uhuru got down there. Steel Pulse got down there. A lot of reggae, a lot of roots reggae, a lot of dub reggae, a lot of conscious reggae, a lot of traditional reggae, revival reggae was down there long before reggae hip hop got down there. But for the youth now, the youth got introduced to us through their parents that was always into reggae hip hop and listening to reggae and hip hop. And they passed, I guess, a collection down to them. And then we go to Colombia, do a show like 7 or 8 years ago. And the whole audience is like at least between like age 18 and 27. I'm like, yo, these kids weren't even born when we came out, bro. This is crazy.
I was born in 94.
Fam, I'm like, how do they know about us? And he's like, yo, their parents was rocking to us. And needless to say, we was always trying to appeal to like Black Americans that felt reggae was getting lucky and felt like reggae accent is cool and y'all winning right now, but we're with that trying to take shine from these rap artists and these R&B artists. Ain't taking over our country and not taking over our airways or taking our dance floor so much that we now gotta move over bacon. We got something linear. We got something from the Caribbean that's linear and more refreshing and more seductive and more delicious. We was always trying to get them to appreciate the beauty in it. And we knew one way to get them was to have them dance on the 1 and the 2 by having the kick and the snare. Our label was like, yo, that's cool, but radio's starting to like feel like the dude rapping is rapping too long and the accent's too thick. They hear your voice, your vocal timbre, they feel like it's more palatable, easy to sing along with.
Yeah, which is
8
crazy.
bars, and it's 8 bars, so it's something to get in and mimic whatever you're saying, if it's with the accent or speaking proper Ebonic English or what have you. And some of your certain records you have, the snare is too loud and it's so boom bap and it's so having them dancing to 1 and 2 that's not the wave right now. That's not the trend right now. Or it's too hard for commercial radio where you need to make production that sounds a little lighter for your voice and his voice if y'all want to win more audiences and step up and sell out more and get a big audience. So we started to run into some pressure.
Yeah, because y'all getting pressure. Because that's funny because Jamaica is like, y'all not Jamaican enough. And then America like, yo, y'all too Jamaican. So it's like,
and then we really had an audience in Hawaii. Hawaii
huge on reggae.
Hawaii got a lot of great R&B singers that listen to old soul music, like how Jamaicans listen to old soul music. And they listen to a lot of California laid back, California cool on a Sunday afternoon soul music. That tempo is Lovers Rock, One Drop, reggae, rock steady. And a lot of remakes in reggae, rock steady, Lovers Rock, they mimicking a lot of the sunshine, what they call them, lowrider, 70s and 60s groove type music that Hawaiians like themselves. And they singing this music.
It's chill, it's like slow.
Chill, yeah. So some of our reggae in the first album was that. A song called Why Do Girls?
Yeah.
A song called Ain't No Stopping. We not knowing when we're creating this, we was gonna bleed into these genres that they liked in the West Coast and they liked in Hawaii. So the label was like, man, y'all getting all this exposure. Y'all getting a lot of radio ads across the nation. They listen to you with your eye, with their eyes. Y'all not Jamaican enough, but y'all getting way more than 8 million eyeballs that's seeing you. That y'all selves ain't really reflecting the amount of eyeballs that's seeing you. So maybe this sound ain't really working for y'all. I need to switch our sound up. And I'm the stubborn one in the group. With like, yo, at the time too, I was very limited in my thinking with the training wheel concept. I'm like, yo, I sing to boom bap. I sing to the tempo of the stand 85, the stand 90, the stand 93.
And this is where you talk about where you were saying before,
the
fake ass kissing, right?
Yeah, this is where they wanted us to. Yeah. I was adamant on some. I'm a tourist.
Never bow.
I'm a tourist, and I'm a pioneering visionary. When I see connections in my head, and I want others to see the connection, and they not getting it. I'm like, yo, don't you see how you don't see? How you don't hear it? How you don't see it? I see it in my head, and I hear it in my head. How you don't see it? Where I'm like, I'm stubborn to prove to you this shit can work. When the label started saying, yo, you got to change the sound, and then the second album was where we got you got to change the sound. The first album only sold like 120,000 units. For being seen more than so many days, so many years on BET with all that over 8 million viewers our videos played like, our videos played so much, it was damn like a Drake takeover on BET. People felt like, yo, BT
like
on
a
y'all?
machine behind y'all, yeah.
BT on y'all? Are they trying to prove something with y'all? Are they giving y'all favoritism because y'all are American and they're American? Are they trying to prove something to Jamaicans that they want to just only highlight the Black American of Jamaican descent? Like, we always got questioned about that. And a lot of time when we go amongst a lot of Jamaicans from Jamaica that were winning organically, coming from the island and rising with their song without people knowing what they look like, who they were, when they see us on the same bill performing with them, they were like, they were that group that's getting over because BET's playing the hell out of them. So let's see if they really got what it takes on stage. But we won't shut their ass down because we were real Jamaican. We would get that kind of level of tension with us. But
it's different though, because you're saying all those eyes. What people don't realize is back then though, they were actually organic calls. more organic phone calls and stuff like coming in because
we tapped in.
Bobby Simmons.
Yeah,
because he was telling me about that's what he used to get. Like people would be calling the request line.
Bam, we tapped into something, and then like people don't know Jamaica sometimes they're pioneers and they're pioneers, and they have been from ever since. I think Dominican Republic black folks, I think Cuban black folks, I think Jamaican black folks. Poverty breeds innovation. It makes you use your right brain more. When you lack, invention becomes
less is more.
Less is more. You have to make more with less. So you're going to tap in and make connections faster than most would make. And sometimes you end up being ahead of your time because you have to be ahead of your time because you have to make connections that aren't really available, but you see it and you have to make it happen. It can make you be hungry and make amazing things, but it can make you spoiled too. To a point that you feel like you're unique because you tapped in early. And I think Jamaica for a lot of years tapped in early. And he might have even got cocky and complacent that when others started doing things and others started making moves with it, there might have been in Jamaica they call teeth, don't love to see teeth with long back. One thief don't like to see another thief with a longer back.
Yeah.
Or, we created this, so we can't have the student supersede the teacher.
Never.
The son's not supposed to become better than the father. And it's economics too. At the end of the day, the currency rate in Jamaica is really lower than the one our currency rate here. And if it got only 2 million people there, but so many outlets for performing, so many shows for people coming out to see you perform, and so many shows you can be booked on. Of course, the broad market is going to be your haven to go make the UK pound or the euro in Europe or money in Canada or the US currency. So if you see others thriving using your same music that you feel is homegrown and you're trying to use it as a vehicle to climb out of poverty, quite naturally you're going to look across and be like, yo, hold up. How we created this? And then we were known for dominating our flag with it. Now hybrids and people that's outside of our diaspora, that second generation or third generation, or people that could hang around us and can channel us and mimic us, all of a sudden companies are giving them money over us and putting them out as an alternative than to deal with us and us pulling work permits and paperwork and having to deal with the embassy to go travel and make money with them. It's like they're finding more affordable versions of us. They're finding like not even the authentic versions of us. There was a feeling like that. And we got kind of like, we became the poster child for that initially. And to be fair too, I could understand it because.
No, I understand it. Yeah.
One time I was on a tour bus with Lady Patrick. One time she hit me with there's some artists in Jamaica that's poverty stricken. They're trying to use their talent to climb out of poverty, and they're more talented than you and your partner. And just because you guys are American, you guys are just getting all this overexposure where we don't even feel you're that good. Like, you needed to come down to Jamaica and prove to us that you deserve all this on the airplay you get and the amount of shots you get. There's other groups down there that's starving. They got family that's starving, and they way talented than you guys, and they deserve the shot because they grew up in Jamaica where if they don't got a rich uncle, they ain't got no China in their family. They're not connected to anybody that's Syrian or of a white complexion,
Portugal, and all
or any kind of mix up where they could be more marketable to different audiences, but not seeming to be Jamaican. They deserve the shot more than you do. I look at it like, holy shit! I didn't even look at me trying to do reggae as I'm impeding on job insecurity in Jamaica. My father, this was my dad's job. He brought the family business. His uncles played horns and ska bands. Cousin Derek Harry contributed to. I'm like, hold on. So I'm lost. So y'all look at us living abroad as having an unfair advantage because it's hard for you guys to go through all this rigor mortis that y'all got to go through with the paperwork, the work permit, the visas, the embassy, the not being so close to New York City to these three distribution companies now, or be closer to Cali to get these deals faster, or like Miami or what have you. I'm saying, but due to proximity and due to probably our complexion with the connection as an American, or us speaking ebonically clear, or us starting on BT and Amateur Night the Apollo, you're saying that we don't deserve to represent the flag to try to pump more interest into the island?
But
I'm sorry to cut you off.
That's all good.
I felt like you would have promoted more of your culture, like your father was telling you to do.
My father wanted me to read music and play an instrument like a virtuoso without just channeling people and mimicking people.
But you think you brought more of your background?
No, he wanted me to go to Jamaica. Name. He wanted me to go to Jamaica and tell them like, yo, listen,
this is my family.
Me trying to get a job in America off of what the family's business has been. If you see me competing with you, with the same white check cutters coming down there trying to give money to any of us, abroad or down the yard, go ahead with that. You won't get the job over me because you from America.
Do you think she would have said that to you on that bus if you would have just been more?
It would have been a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because in Jamaica they have classism and the connection and cronyism.
Yeah.
Envy. Yo, I just show your father, or the boss man, we want this. I just show your uncle. You see my uncle, they'll bring up connections as an unfair advantage.
Like the Marleys.
Yeah, they'll bring up the connection. That's just how they are, bro. Like they're very, they're very like dense.
That. Everybody.
In every city, in the very dense cities, it's a lot of competition. So with a lot of competition, you see everybody that's competing.
Mm-hmm.
So quite naturally, it's going to breed a lot of jealousy and envy and covetousness naturally. But when there's like sparsity too, and there's lack, and they're seeing so much honey dripping from a knife in America, and everybody's looking from the honey, and everybody like their belly's full, while they down there looking at a knife that don't have that much honey. Of course, they're gonna all come up with all kind of explanations as to, yo, why you get the honey, I ain't get the honey. Why you get they're gonna bring up all kind of ways to break down why you deserve and why they don't deserve. Mm-hmm. And they've always used classism, complexionism, colorism, and connectionism, cronyism. What they call it, nepotism.
You call me on that one.
Yeah, nepotism. Like, cause you connected, that's why. So we knew we were going to have the connection, the connection, the nepotism working against us. We were always going to be in a room where all the guns were going to be pointed at.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what.
Yeah, no matter
we was not going to be able to please everybody. But it took 20 or 23 to 30 years for them to learn how to tap into what we started to learn to do out of necessity. Mm-hmm. Remember, we had to create reggae hip hop out of necessity. We came to them to get it from them and get their sound and run off the way that they had with the reggae sound from Jamaica. We didn't even ask Bobby to give us reggae hip hop. We asked him for something that he produced with that may had a little volume of the kick turned up a little bit. Mm-hmm. He's like, nah, I'm gonna give you something. And when he gave us, we was like, that ain't it, man. We can't. That ain't gonna compete up there. That ain't gonna compete down here. You gave us the Battle of L.A.M.A.R.R. Like, why would you give us your weakest? And we with a company that is looking to pump money into us. It's a shot to have you have more credits in the mainstream past what you got with Shaba and what you got with whomever else. He didn't look at it that way. He looked at us with the job insecurity. We was about to be a plant. And how dare you? We don't know y'all, where y'all coming from. We ain't see y'all putting that work down here to earn these stripes. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna give y'all what I think. And I'm gonna take this money and look the other way. And we ain't gotta worry about y'all. I lived to see him and meet him. And I lived to learn that he was a friend of my father's. And when I saw him, he was like, oh, it was all love. I'm like, man, sometimes it happens, bro.
Yeah.
The unwanted stone becomes a cornerstone.
Because I understand from his perspective.
Yeah, I do.
But also, which is crazy though, because it's all perception. Because we all was born in America. So for us, they had us looking at Africa like it's poor and it's like this crazy place. And then if you don't know nobody from Africa, if you've never been to Africa, it's one of the most beautiful places. They up on technology more than us. Somebody, if people don't want you, somebody wants people to think less of things because they're like, I don't want you to go over there and it gets oversaturated. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, maybe colonization, colonization culture is about, we can't let too many of the colonizers know about too many great places that we feel may have limited resources that we're trying to extract or what have you. Mm-hmm. So we're going to let's use reverse psychology and tell them, you don't want to go there. Whenever they tell you don't want to go there, that means they don't want you to go there and oversaturate it because you might benefit from it more than they are. And then they make them hate us because then now they show us like we up in rich houses.
And not only the colonizers that are of the other complexion do that, we do that too.
Yeah.
We've been known to do.
I do the opposite when people tell me not to do it. Like, nah, I'm gonna do it this way because it might not work for you, but it's gonna work for me. Or like when I be watching like a lot of interviews with Jay-Z and all them when they be talking about that stuff, like people just sit there and put their fears onto you.
It's true.
It's just like
true. It's true. It's true. People that do fail at directions, sometimes. Okay, a homie of mine, a good co-songwriter friend of mine named Gary. He said to me, "Yo, I always wonder why a lot of great swimmers drown." And I'm like, He said, "I learned great swimmers drown because sometimes the swimmer is so stubborn about swimming against the current that after a while the current will tire him out. That he, no matter how much in his head he sees something that he wants to actualize and he can beat the odds against the current, it's just certain things that tsunami level force of a current that's working and that everyone's riding, and that's doing it's riding through its cycle until it cycles out. You may not want to tire if you got a limited time for your breakthrough or your opening you're trying to use. Sometimes to be a smart swimmer means you might have to swim with the current a little bit, come off it and swim a little against the areas where it's manageable. But if you keep on swimming against these tsunamis of force of currents, even if you're a greater swimmer with greater ideas and greater technique, at some point it will tire you out to a point you'll give in and give out, and your body will give out. Your mind will give in, the body will give out, you'll give up.
Yeah.
And I learned you have to, all of us got to balance art and commerce. If you want stakeholders, stockholders, or fans to invest in you, whatever they're used to, the frequency they're used to, what they're frequently rocking to, you got to meet them where they're at sometimes. Or you surprise them with something that they never heard before at a time where they're tired of a cycle that's been running for so long, and it's time to be the game changer, and you come with the change. And you time it. You see the trough coming down. I don't know if they call the top of a wave and the bottom of a wave, but when you're about to see it cycle out, that's the time sometimes for a swimmer to be very stubborn. To be like, yo, I'm about to swim against this current. I knew all along I was about to die now. That's the time to be smart to do it. Sometimes you be like, nah, I'm gonna prove the odds.
It's a challenge.
It is. It is. I did it think about it. In Jamericans, I was always telling my partner, yo, I'm singing nothing. I'm not singing nothing else unless he got a boom bap. It's between 85, 93, and then we could rock with the bass line. That's reggae from Jamaica. That's my voice. I sing off that. I'm only able to sing to that. If there's anything else, I'm not trying to sing that. I'm not trying to be a R&B singer. I'm not trying to be a pop singer. I'm not trying to be, I would always say what I wasn't trying to be and put limitations on myself. Yeah. Not knowing that all my years of my life, I've always been channeling all these genres. Listen to all these genres, but it was just comfort. A lot of artists, we do get into a groove, stay in the comfort, and then when we're challenged, to challenge our talent, we think Pavarotti syndrome. Oh no, one of my weaknesses is going to be exposed. I see the train wreck coming. It's all in our head. If I do that, they might realize I'm not really good at doing that style, or I'm not really good at doing that style. Or I haven't been working as much on that style. I got the confidence to go, or I don't want to try it, and then I look like a failure. I'm feeling that I have a fear of failing, so I don't want to. And you create all this shit in your head. I was doing it a lot when I was in this group, because I was getting too comfortable in a groove of I sing like the singer likes to sing, which is on like a certain BPM. So you can hear him. I could be comfortable with my breathing, comfortable with controlling my notes, comfortable with controlling my pitch and my sound, and sounding sultrily airy according to a laid back groove, and opposed to challenging myself to sing really fast, faster beat. So when the label did listen, y'all only hit like 120. That commerce is not meeting our recoup or our ROI. 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x.
You in the red?
You were in the red. Yeah, so we're gonna make our money on the second album. So the second album, we gotta go in we're gonna hook up with different producers. Let's get outside of you guys being the self-producer with other producers and you just using your producers as engineers. Yeah. So then we worked with Salaam Remi. He gave us Semi Love.
One of my favorites.
Which is a hit. Stevie Wonder, remake.
Sample, yeah.
Sample. Ellie Shine did a collab with Stevie Wonder before the group even put out our first record. It was awesome. Like, Stevie Wonder, I think, had a lot. Stevie Wonder, to me, him employing a guy named Derek Perkins. Derek Perkins got our A&R lady a job at Delicious Vinyl. made it possible for us to get signed. So Steve in some weird kind of way.
That's the lady that was.
Yes, this is a lady that went to Jamaica with us. Her name is Leslie Cooney. So she got hired at a label. She was a girlfriend of the engineer for Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder got asked for a Jamaican like type of chatter, and they got Eddie Shine to be on a record with.
She loved Jamaica.
Yeah, he does.
He did jamming.
Yeah, jamming. Influenced by Bob.
Yeah. Even people. D Brown did one of his.
Yes.
A lot of people did his.
Yeah.
Ribbon in the Sky.
Yeah, they love soul. Jamaican music loves soul music, bro. They love hearing the pain sound so beautiful, bro. And they love it in a bluesy way, jazzy way, on that 1 and 2 way when it's soul music.
Yeah.
And they love hell of a crooners and hell of a singers because it's so competitive. Jamaica has a lot. They probably have the most musicians per capita square and have the most churches per capita square.
Yeah.
So everyone's a singer, bro. Everybody has a song in their heart, and everyone at some point tries their hand at uplifting themselves out of poverty to crying out a song that's in their heart to see if it'll get them a shot in front of the Queen to be uplifted or cleared off the chessboard to go back to another trade. And so they respect all the creme de la creme vocalists out of America that belt out heart and soul and pain. And they always invite those singers to come to Jamaica to perform. And all the singers down there try to emulate them and try to like show them that they can be just as good as them or better than them. And we do have a history of a lot of singers in Jamaica influencing R&B singers.
Mm-hmm.
I think Al Green was in Al Green's Love and Happiness song. Was influenced by
wait, who did it first? Not D Brown.
Not D Brown.
Before him.
Something in my father always brings it up to me. I'm sorry, Dad.
I know it too. I'm slipping too.
The intro of it is from an actual reggae. Yeah. My father
and
always
it starts over again.
Yep.
I forgot who did
and that lick actually came from them being inspired, his band being inspired by the Jamaican musicians.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've always had this history.
It's hand in hand,
yeah, we've always had this history from borrowing ideas from each other to make both our ideas be better ideas.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? But sometimes Jamaica, with it being a dense populated place in the cities where there's so many singers, so many musicians, sometimes it breeds a natural, man, why you get it? Why I ain't get it?
Yeah.
Man, I'm better than you. No, I tried more than you. Man, hold up, man. Where they was at? We ain't never see them come down there. When they start doing that. Now they doing what we doing. Now they beating us to the punch with our own. We need to get that money that they getting because we can pump it back around in our family households. We can pump it back in our economy. That's our music. It started with us. It's natural for them to feel that way, but they might have a double standard too. They probably don't mind doing it to us, but when we do it to them, they feel like we got a bigger market share to make way more than they can.
And not knowing that we compete, we getting But now I know.
Now it's changed.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, but
Now
I know we
changed.
limited on time because I know we all gotta go.
It's all good.
Because this is a good reason.
I'm gonna bring up how the transition into this Latin stuff real quick.
Well, no, before you
wait.
Oh no, because Latin, you did do the Latin stuff before. You did do it a little bit before 2001, right? All right, so
when Born Jamericans broke up,
mm-hmm.
we was all, right before us breaking up. We would always go to New York and get mixtapes. It was our avid mixtape listeners.
Ron G.
Yeah, all of them, bro.
Yeah.
You name it, we would. Whenever we had to go to New York to do press runs,
mm-hmm.
we always like, we gotta hit up Harlem, we gotta hit up Canal Street. In our mind, we listening for hungrier people while we on tour. That's hungrier than us. That want it more than us. So we don't forget the hunger, and we stay sharp, and we hear the latest where the latest current and wave is going that we need to stay abreast of, so the customer don't feel like we not making music that is relatable,
mm-hmm.
or how can we use what we hearing to make our product be that much better? And it's natural, just relaxation. We like hearing when we're in the hotels, when we're on the road, when we get on that plane ride, we trying to kill time with listening, keep our ears to the street.
Mm-hmm.
One CD I got Diaz Brothers, doo-wop, with 50 MCs. 50 MCs with Tony Touch.
Yeah.
Tony Touch's mixtapes, I used to get, and I used to hear him sample reggae artist voice, and he was rapping in a Spanglish kind of way over boom bap music. All the words he was using, I'm like, yo, these are all the words I know. I'm going to my bilingual elementary school, and all the slangs and all the hitting gosa that I had to learn, and I would always use every day around my damn Puerto Rican friends And it was just a slang. That's how we talk.
Yeah.
He's using all that shit in a song.
Yeah.
And he's rapping. And I'm like, oh, this shit is crazy. And then he sampled some of my greatest reggae artists, Spragga Benz, a couple other ones. And right before we broke up, we went to Jamaica to do a song with Sly and Robbie that we didn't get a chance to do because the budget didn't afford it. And then Spragga offered us to do this song called Go Girl on a reggae rhythm, and it allowed us to like keep our popularity going. So thank you, Spragga. He kind of sealed us to be like, yo, okay, you got a song, Spragga, so you official. You're not just on TV.
Spragga,
yeah, you official. You messing with one of our lyricist pen dudes.
Top.
And he helped me co-write Nuttin Nuh Go So. Can you hear me? He helped me co-write Nuttin Nuh Go So. I had him redline it, but when I listened to the Tony Touch inspired Tony Touch, the song Maria Maria, and a song from a group named Immature.
Oh, with
Tamika. They had a song called Tamika on their album. In like 97, 98.
It's like
it had like a Spanish
dance song.
Well, it's not Tamika. It's something.
No,
with
but
it's
this
joint had like a Spanish guitar. They had like a Spanish guitar in it. And when I heard
Aisha, that's what it is.
What? No, I'm confusing it.
It was Aisha,
another
right?
record by
no, Aisha's the other one. That sold to Soul, right?
That's all. Yeah, that's Soul to Soul.
All right.
That's Soul to Soul. Soul to Soul was a group in London.
I mean, Soul for
Real.
Yeah, I'm mixing all of.
There's a group. There was Immature had a record. They mixed the Spanish guitar with hip hop beats and like a slight reggae bass line. And when I heard back to back Maria Maria, the Immature record, and I had heard the Tony Touch joint, I'm like, yo, I'm hearing something, bro. I'm hearing connections in my head. I think I could go in this direction, yo. I really think I can go in this direction. And right before we broke up, we did Sunfest.
Mm-hmm.
And we got booed on Sunfest.
Damn.
We got booed. It was a slap that we needed. I was always telling my partner, I think we getting complacent, bro. I think we feeling we good with all this advertising on TV. And that's being steadily busy. No, like Lady Patrick said, there's always hungrier dudes that want it bad. And we caught between the label trying to alter our sound, tell us we got to change our sound. We caught with the label saying, yo, the next album after the second album, the next album is going to be all about you, Notch. You got to be you solo more and have your partner scale back. And me and my partner had a stalemate. Like, we got this record, Go Girl, coming out, doing well for us. We're trying to put out the Venus record. We just got booed at Sunfest. And then the label's hitting us with the next project, man, it's going to be more about Notch has to sing more so we can go over more radio ads and get you out of this not selling more than 120,000 units because it looks just bad. Me and my partner looking at each other like, damn, where do we go from here? I'm like, yo, Ed, why don't you just replace me with another singer, bro? He's like, nah, people don't like when people replace singers or replace members. It's not the same. They get used to. Then they're going to like put this new singer in a new box that he's not matching or change the sound. I'm like, oh, I hear you, but we're a stalemate. They trying to have me sell you out to make it be the Notch show and not be Born Jamaican. They sign us both as a balance, the yin and yang. You tall, I'm short. I'm light, you dark. Mm. My voice sweet, your voice rough and husky. Yeah. I had dynamics. People enjoy hearing the contrast. They gonna make it be all about me. That's not Jamaican anymore. And I'm not gonna do a solo Jamaican album after 2 albums and then say, yo, I, as a solo artist, my solo album is going to be better than the first 2 albums because I'm by myself. That wasn't my mindset. I never thought I was even qualified to be a solo artist, getting comfortable and being in a group, and me not being super nice with my pen yet. So when we at this crossroad in like 98, getting booed in Jamaica, they was being nice before they booed us. They have a little ritual, a Sandman ritual, Sandman or Amateur Apollo ritual that they try to hit you with the, we're gonna wind the music up and bring the broom and sweep you off. They would do this. They'll start clapping. That's enough. Enjoy. Listen, we're not clapping because we're enjoying, so we're saying it's enough. Yeah. Finish. You did good. Just keep it moving. You did good, but not good enough. But take the claps before you start seeing us go like this. They started doing this to us. We still was performing. We not understanding. Then they started going like this.
Damn.
We are not impressed. There's a disconnect. Give it up. You guys' reputation supersedes your true ability on stage. You're not winning us over. You guys are clearly overachievers.
Yeah.
You're coming through us through BET. You're some big star that's supposed to represent our music, but we never heard of you. You may come from down here. You're doing the same stuff we do down here. All that was showing up in their reception. They're doing this to us. And then this dude, I don't know who ran on stage, but they ran on stage and grabbed us before the bottles were going to start coming and before the rocks were going to start coming. When they brought us off, bro, they said, yo, don't take it personal. Jamaica's a very tough audience. That's how they do with most of the people that come from outside of Jamaica. But lyrically, you guys just don't connect with them. There's a disconnect. Lyrically, y'all speak y'all point of view from y'all experience being Americans, but of Jamaican descent and living in America. Like, so what y'all speak about in y'all records ain't really their experience. Mm-hmm. They like to hear people speak to their experience, or you guys just got these hits that it speaks to a center of them, or it's so known and so established that they just happy to see you and just give it up to you. But you guys are representing their name and another name, and then y'all representing their music with a whole different sound, and then y'all overachievers now. Y'all winning more than what that first initial wave of the Shabas and everybody, where they looking at y'all like, man, we better than them. So all that's culminating, and I'm looking at my partner like, yo, so they think we like some Milli Vanilli, like some Jamaican Milli Vanilli, like we don't even deserve to be on stage, like we don't even deserve to be doing reggae. He's like, man, it's just that lyrically you just don't connect. And I did it. I visualized, I'm gonna make a song. They'll never boo me ever again, because I will speak to them from beginning to end. And that that's song is Nuttin Nuh Go So on the biot rhythm.
Yeah.
So
huge rhythm.
Yeah.
Tony Kelly.
This record came to me in 98.
Damn, so you got it before.
In 98. After that, boo, I was listening to a lot of reggae, and Salaam Remi kind of used to nudge me and like, yo, stop listening to reggae music, bro. Just listen to other genres of music. Listen to rock music. Listen to alternative music. Listen to soul music, live soul music by the singers that all the Jamaican singers are singing. Like, if you listen to all the fundamentals, and if you listen to who they studying, but they ain't letting you know and you don't know about it, you'll own your own creative crack rock voice corner and hustle your own thing, and they can't say nothing to you. So then I went and bought all the greatest R&B soul singers that sang live. Sam Cooke, Otis Redding, Al Green. I started buying live by them. And I'm like, man, all the reggae singers are getting all this stuff from them. They're just channeling them. They're just mimicking them. But they got singing fundamentals that they teach you in vocal coaching classes, that they teach you in church. And once I started listening to them, I started listening to rock music, alternative music, country music more, pop music. I started listening to all these music. All I would do is just for every day when I drive, and I would always drive up and down 95 from DC to New York, and from New York, Connecticut. One time I drove to Canada for Carabana.
Yeah, I used to drive. Yeah.
My driving time was my songwriting learning time. I'd scan every station and listen to every genre, listen to every song, and I started to notice there was something that was showing up all the time, bro. Same chords. I was hearing the same chords.
Bars.
Same sequence.
Yeah.
Same key that was being used, same chords, the same melody contours in every genre that worked. I'm like, my dad was right. My dad used to always say, no, why they keep on recycling old ideas like they don't want to come up with new ideas? It's like they keep on just borrowing from the past and don't want to just improve. I'm like, Dad, it's about 7 notes, 12 notes. People gonna run into the same sequence, some combination at some point. New generations gonna run into the same one. Their hands gonna go to it. Their hands gonna go to it. Their hands gonna go to it. Like they're gonna run into and stumble into the same, and they're gonna run into them. They're gonna run into some sacred geometry pattern.
Because it's mathematics too.
It's math.
Yeah,
they're gonna run into the same math sequences, and it's gonna have the same impact on people. Mm-hmm. But what I noticed, I stopped listening for melody and stopped listening for channeling voices and vocal styles. I started listening for frequency and lyrics. Concepts and arrangement. And once I did that, I lifted that whole I can only sing the reggae hip hop. I only want to sing the reggae hip hop. Once I did that, the label didn't know what to do with me. Once my dad hit me with the second time around, like, yo, if you're not gonna do music no more, you better go to college. If you're not gonna go to college, you gotta get the hell out. Once I was like, all right, cool, I'm just gonna follow up with this contract that they got for me, the group provision clause. Go to New York, work with Salaam. And Salaam started challenging me, and we came up with some reinvention concept. But I'll end up working with my hometown people on my Latin stuff that I grew up with. Hometown friend that was his wife was encouraging him to do Latin music, and he liked a little bit of Latin music, but he was doing more soul music and R&B music. Meanwhile, I was developing this song because my mom like, yo, I'm gonna go to Jamaica myself, trip myself. I'm not going to I'm not going to associate myself with more Jamericans. I'm not going to try to ride off the fame that I have with more Jamaica. I'm not going to let anybody know I am the singer with more Jamaica. I'm just going to go and be like, I'm not, and I'm just doing my thing. So I had this chip on my shoulder to go to Jamaica and make a dancehall project. First, I tried to do the project with Tony Kelly. Mm-hmm. His label was called Calicious. I was like, yo, Tony, I think something can work with you on Calicious because their company's name is Delicious. You're Delicious. So maybe we could do a synergy and put out a straight dancehall album. He's like, nah, we need to do a crossover. He's about to crossover. He makes crossover top liner melody music on dancehall that always crossed over. Mm-hmm. So he was like, yo, crossover money just sustains me more as a businessman. And you're a singer and you got a singer image and you come in with a major label, you trying to be an NBA player coming down to the M1 league, talking about you trying to break dudes' knees and you're not going to just do it for the summertime, but you want to do it for the whole season, don't play in NBA no more. When I've been making money off NBA level money, you hustling backwards, man. Yeah. And at the time I was understand, I'm like, nah, I'm just trying to prove that I ain't in the league towards some little sponsorship endorsement thing that they just put me in the league without having to get my knees broken in the N1 league. He wasn't understanding that. He was like, man, you might be killing yourself for too many people that probably won't even give you props any damn way. Exactly. And at the time I wasn't processing. I'm like, nah, once I prove to them, they gonna cheer me on, it's gonna be gone. All right. He's like, yeah, your label paying for you to be on this rhythm, so let me see what you got. I got on the rhythm with a song that was already written. I was the last one to get on the rhythm. I wrote the song with the intention of never getting booed ever again. And making sure that every time I grab the mic in front of a Jamaican audience, they can never say, hey, Yankee boy, yeah, dilute the thing. You're not even Jamaica, you're not even this, you're not even that. Or they be like, yo, them wanna chop some lyrics that speak to us like.
And 4 different hooks.
Yeah, and I made sure, I was doing that just to add insult to injury. For all the years that I was told, yo, you just get by on melody. You just get by on the fact that you look like you a singer and you sing like how you look and look like how you sing and you on TV and you was on a major record label and that's all. You ain't never had no bars. You ain't never had no lyrics. I had to become very lyrical from 98 till 2007. I was more on lyrics.
I don't got my Raised by the People CD.
Fam, I was more lyrics orientated. I tell you, I'm gonna prove that I am not just stuck as the channeler, the swagger jacker, the I can't create in a vacuum. I can't listen to music and let music speak to me. Mm-hmm. Once I got around the Spanish guitar gave me my voice. That's when I started singing my pain. That's when I started singing more about my rejection. And that's when I started getting on any stage. When the Spanish guitar come on, that's when I became my King David. When they say King David was asked to come into the house of Solomon or Temple of Solomon to chase out the demons, bring in the singer and play the harp and let his voice sing a song of chanting or what have you and chase out the demons. That's when I started learning how to chase out all my inner demons of the chips on my shoulder and the rejection and all that, all the identity crisis with Jamaica's rejection, all that. I just found my voice. And that's when I started singing more Latin music. And I didn't know about reggaeton. And I created Like Que Bueno in Jamaica to a Spanish guitar track that was made by Shaggy's guitar player named Robert Brown. Mm-hmm. Chico, the reggae dancehall artist, saw me when I was in Jamaica trying to make a dancehall mixtape or make a dancehall comeback with me jumping on all these damn reggae rhythms as Notch or Oh My Gosh. And me and Salaam, Remi tried to throw up as an alter ego to try to strip the Jamaican fame or me not rely on Jamaican fame. And Chico was like, yo, Notch, Robert Brown got a rhythm. Why don't you come, like, get on it? And I'm like, all right. everybody did something fake Jamaican on it, I'm like, yo, I heard my grandfather speak patois in Spanish. I'm a fan of Nando Boom. I'm a fan of El General. I heard Tony Touch to go in and out from Spanish to English. I'm gonna add something different and come different. That song was created in Portmore, Jamaica.
Yeah.
First, before it got to Puerto Rico, before I got to Miami and Puerto Rico. And I took all my years of doors slamming on me when Jamericans broke up. And when I was trying to get into the Latin world, and they was like, you don't speak Spanish fluently? You're Black American, but of Jamaican descent, but your people's, you was raised by Spanish folks, but you really want to come into the Spanish world and sing Spanish music? Like, why would you do that? Why would you make yourself that uncomfortable to be singing a different language that you don't, that's not even your mother tongue? Every time the door slammed on me, I would take that and transmute it towards getting better at singing Latin music, better at singing to a point that when I get on stage, I would use stage as a therapy to belt out all the demons, bro. And I got lucky that buyout, because lucky to me is preparing to meet opportunity. I was preparing after all the rejections.
That's why it's not lucky.
Well,
this is how you found yourself when the
That's
person
how it's
for you and not.
Yeah. That's when I stopped.
You took on a challenge. That's what it is.
I did,
yeah.
and Salaam Remi is probably like the first real producer that actually ever produced.
Because he works with artists. Like
he will take someone that has all this rawness and show them why you overthinking the Pavarotti syndrome and what you need to tap into to turn it up a notch. Literally, take it to a whole other level, and so you won't be afraid of your own talent, your own ability. And once he got in my head, and definitely got me to get out of my head, and the more I got more confident, the more I listened to every genre, listen to every style of writing, every style of sequencing and arranging, and every time I would get on stage, every audience would definitely give me the feedback that, yo, you are onto something, because I don't know what the hell you are, who you are, and I love what you're doing,
what you are,
and I want to support you. And it led me to a bidding war with Jay-Z, Clive Davis, and a Spanish company said, yo, we'll give you anything you want, just don't sign with those two dudes. And it led me to where we are now, where we have some of my reggaeton classics that did well from 2003, 2007 till now.
I don't got my Raised by the People CD.
It's all good.
I'm bringing it next time.
It's all good.
One question. Go for it. So for all upcoming, because I know we're gonna
it's all good.
So for all upcoming artists, right? What message do you have for them who overthink their work and their art and sit there and just be like, like what you was going through? Like,
all right. So sometimes I would believe, I'm going to say this. I learned people like to sing in the shower because it has all the acoustics. And it makes you sound heavenly perfect. I mean, people love to sing with auto-tune on their voice in real time because it makes them even sound heavenly and enchanting. And it'll give you a boost of confidence that you could really sing better than you thought you can, where sometimes you lack confidence. And when you lack confidence, you're overthinking to a point that you're like, oh no, it's going to expose my weakness. People receivers of music want to hear authenticity. They do want to hear you crack your voice. They do want to hear you're struggling to cry out and make an effort that they're too scared to make. They look up to you as an artist for fiercelessness. Yeah. How much are you willing to push yourself to get uncomfortable, to get comfortable? That you make a hard life look easy, make an easy life look hard, where it inspires them to want to push through all the level of uncomfortability. And sometimes perfection is the enemy of greatness. Sometimes a more perfect singer sometimes will be like the great singer that drowns because he's being too stubborn about the perfection of how he sees things. And I've been a victim of that. Yeah. A lot of times when I go through my hiatuses, I'm dealing with that. I'm battling with that. I have a whole catalog of a whole bunch of albums ready to go out, release. And then I'll go right back into, nah, but it ain't. And it's the perfect timing. Oh, I need 2 more perfect songs to go with the perfect sequence. And I've learned there's singers out here, bro, that they may not be as 10,000 hours, 40,000 hours level of unwrapping the gift of muscle memory level like I am. They may not be able to heal someone in real time to transmute their pain, to invoke an emotion out of them. But the little that they can do sometimes is more effective than all that I can do because they're not overthinking. They're just going off of feeling and authenticity. And they just trying to show that, yo, I force myself to get uncomfortable to become comfortable. So I would say People go off of vibration and feeling, and the most highest frequency that anybody can admit from their heart is authenticity. All TikTok, all Instagram, all YouTube shorts are now bringing up how powerful frequency coming from the heart is. It's even high. Authenticity is even higher than the frequency of love coming from your heart. People feel authenticity more than you trying to sound like you're authentic by appearing perfect and overthinking to be so perfect that you don't even make a move, make effort, take the time out to inspire. And I am speaking of my own shit that has fucked me up, and my own journey that set me back a lot of times to keep on inspiring people with more of my goodies that I make myself uncomfortable with. So please, as an upcoming artist, go with your gut. You're gonna hear a lot of no's more than hearing yes. But if you got a gut feeling about something, because your gut feeling on me is your guardian angel, your gut feeling. And if you try it out on young kids, you try it on older people, and you try it out in front of strangers, and you try it out when you're the brokest and you're the hungriest, and your life depended on this one thing you wanted to do to win people over, that matters more than any everything. I'm here to tell you, like, I've seen singers that can't sing better than a lot of perfect singers, and they are kicking perfect people's ass inside out, because the fiercelessness and the authenticity of them making themselves uncomfortable in their fearlessness is inspiring more than them sounding so heavenly and so perfect. So
nowadays, you just have people that just don't anything. Like,
they die fast though.
Yeah,
They're like spitballs that hit the wall and they'll die fast. And it may not be as authentic, because a hit is a hit because it hits you in the core and it hits an emotion, or it hits to invoke a memory. You feel me? Or you heard the chords before that struck a memory, or it worked for other people's memories, or it hit an emotion of what happened to them and was happening to you, and they're hearing the pain that you're going through, that you did delivering, and they're hearing the pain sound beautiful. It's helping them cope with their own pain. Sometimes that's why it's a hit. Sometimes it's not spending 80 grand to $4 million to brainwash, to buy public judgment, to rotate every 13 songs every 30 hours when they hear it 250 times and they know it now and they think you're larger than life. Sometimes those songs die in 2 years. Sometimes it be that emotion with a dude with a guitar on the corner that's poor, hungry, and he just singing about what you going through, and it's like 100,000 people that's going through the same thing, and it gets caught at the right time, and it spreads, and they're like, yo, that don't hit me. No label involved, no money involved, just authenticity comes from the heart, bro. Like, that's why a lot of people that are poor, not poor-minded, but their situation is, they're lacking. They're forced to have to use every might to sing and uplift themselves out of their situation. That's why when you watch America's Got Talent, you watch all these vocal gladiator shows. That's what they're doing. Every story is about them coming from poverty, them lacking, their family counting on them to cry out and change the narrative but it's the intensity of their performance, and taking all the years of pain, of struggle, and really projecting and transmitting and making it sound beautiful, making it sound like they want to lift you up because they know you're going through where it lifts them up, and people reach like a climax, like a double climax, like releasing an orgasm at the same time of like mutual pain. Sometimes a lot of songs, when they have that, they last like 5 years, and another 5 years, another 5 years, and last like 4.
Look at you here?
Nuttin Nuh Go So, a lot of people listen to Nuttin Nuh Go So and think it's just I'm going up and down, melody-wise, a lot of words. But I was crying out every piece of rejection I've ever gotten for not being Jamaican enough, or not being authentic enough with me channeling all these different singers. I'm like, yo, they're gonna feel me, baby. They're gonna hug me, baby. They're gonna love me, baby. Like, and I wanted them to feel that. And I never thought it'd last this long, because lyrically, first verse goes into something that don't apply to the climate right now. And I didn't make it.
Yes, it do.
I didn't make it for Spanish people. I didn't make it for Black American people. I didn't make it for white. I didn't make it for the rest of the world. I made it for, it's gonna hit bullseye Jamaica. And once it resonate down there, any room I walk into, and they say, yo, touch the mic. Where you from? I ain't from Jamaica. Look a Yankee boy. See what you could do. The minute they say that, I knew I visualized it, I actualized it, and the pain shows up every time, bro. And they cheer on the pain, because I think that's what they're used to. Jamaican people love to see a fighter fight their way through poverty, through pain, through rejection, because it ain't easy. Jamaica, I'm learning. I've learned over the years, Jamaica is not an easy place to make it, bro. And anybody that makes it from there, they either put in a lot of work, a lot of sacrifices. You judge them from not the heights they reach, but from the hole they climbing out of, bro. Like, I've grown to respect it. Lately, social media creates a whole new type of new stars, and their ability might be adjusting the grading curve of thinking they deserve it or not. And do they have that pain in them? But the customer base for who listens to music with their eyes now versus their ears and feeling the pain in their heart is different. So I can't speak for what's going on in this new generation, but I know prior to this new generation, prior to Autotune, prior to Melodyne, prior to all these new plugins that can help someone sound like they've arrived in 40,000 hours or 10,000 hours of unwrapping a gift and going through a lot of doors slamming on them and then making it, and then people feeling that pain through like this natural sound. I can't speak on what's happening right now. What's happening right now is some other level of what's winning, what's not winning.
Because now you got the hardest shit. That shit ain't cutting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's oversaturated. It's
oversaturated
because everybody can deliver info, and we're in info overload.
like that.
And now I think people want to follow a story of inspiration, and they want to hear you sing a song track that fits your story from pain to triumph.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so authentic that they like more into your story, and they just happen to enjoy the catchy songs that go along with what helped you get through, that helped them get through watching you. It's almost like you got to make your fan become a star
with your music.
With your music.